Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Chop 200 coming to you with a new mini box. We finally got it. So I think when they do maintenance on the 11th, that's when the box will come out. Or I think same time, like around 7, 8. You know, I'd definitely be streaming when that does drop. I thought we were going to test out Quackimiras, but I guess we'll save that for a later time. So we'll definitely do that. And yeah, let's get right into it. So let's look at what cards we have up in here. I can already tell there's one card I'm familiar with just by looking at it. Dragon Necro, Nether Soul Dragon, I missed you. I can't believe we have that in the game. Zombie Master's finally making his debut. We've been expecting that card for a while now. And we got some Shiranuis. Shiranuis, man. Shiranuis. I don't know this deck. I remember playing this deck in the TCG. I don't remember like how I played it. But I remember it did graveyard abuse. It did have some serious graveyard abuse to where you're able to summon a lot and then kind of disrupt a little bit as well. Kind of, you know, take your opponent off. Like you normally have plays, bomb plays, unless you just get completely cocked and whatchamacallit, Necro Valleyed or something like that. But yeah. This also just tells me Zombie Master, Jin Ryu, like the Jin Ryu support. Oh, we got Book of Life. We got Dragon's Mirror. We got no stars. We got no stars in here. I can't believe Konami, you're a madman. But yeah. It's kind of this is what I'm saying, man. We keep having decks that work so well in the graveyard, but they keep having Seal Tombs, man. Konami, you gotta get rid of Seal Tombs. You gotta get rid of Seal Tombs because I'm telling you, Seal Tombs is gonna be at an all-time high next season. It's gonna be at an all-time high in usage next season because of a lot of these decks that just revolve around the graveyard. You just Seal Tomb for a turn, they can't do anything. OTK next turn. Like Seal Tombs, they need to do something about that skill. But yeah, let's get into the review, alright? Dragon Necro, Nether Soul Dragon. 2 zombie-type monsters. It's a fusion. Must first be fusion summoned. Monsters cannot be destroyed by battle with this card at the end of the damage step. If this card battled a monster that has an original level, that monster's attack becomes 0. Also, if that monster is still face up on the field, special summon 1 Dark Soul token. Zombie type, dark level, question mark is going to be the same level. Attack, same attack. Defense, 0. When summoned, its level and attack become equal to the original level and attack of that monster. You can only control 1 Dragon Necro Nether Soul Dragon. So you can't have more than 1 and only 1. This card's going to be very good. I know like we do have Dragon's Mirror, so you can use Dragon's Mirror for this card, which is pretty useful. Also, you could use Necro Fusion. I used Necro Fusion in TCG with this card. It was completely OP. Every time they thought they had me, I'd wall them off with Dragon Necro during the battle phase. It was so useful. You're gonna probably play Necro Fusion most of the time. It is a dragon, so you can't really Book of Life it because I know Book of Life's in here. But yeah, I definitely like Necro Fusion for this. Is gonna be like one of the main things because you want that out of nowhere wall. Also, another tactic with this card is it's a self-attacking magic cylinder, and at the same time it's a power of the guardians, even though it doesn't increase or decrease because it stays on the field no matter how many times you attack it. And then you get to spawn tokens every time you attack this thing. So what you want to do is like you want to Necro Fusion, wall off your opponent. If they still attack, you create a token of that monster's attack, and then next turn all you got to do is attack them. If their attack is just higher than your Nether Soul, then you attack them with the token, and then you attack with Nether Soul for like 3k direct or whatever. Or, no, sorry, it wouldn't be strong because it goes down to 0. So you pretty much it's pretty much that's why I call it the self-attacking magic cylinder, because you're pretty much doing that damage during the next phase. If they have no back row, all you got to do is just turn them to attack, and then attack. You know, and that's just saying like you get blocked by another card from Dragon Necro, you could attack with that token and do that other monster's amount of attack and attack. So, you know, you could use it as a magic cylinder on your attack base, and you could attack with it and gain the token as well. That's another good. That's why it's a UR, because it could attack with itself. You know, you take the damage still, but your opponent's monster goes to 0, and then you create a token of that monster's attack, and then you attack with that, which is this magic cylinder effect. Your opponent loses attack of pretty much monster that was in battle. So yeah, all right, next card. I dribbled on long enough about that, but I tried to drill in the idea, the concept with the card. But yeah, Dragon Mirror and Necrophagia are going to be the two biggest cards that you run with that. So Jin Ryu Squire Saga. It's a level 7, it seems. You could use Side Reflector to bring out this card. You can only special summon Shiryu Squire Saga once per turn. Once per turn, you can banish one face-up monster you control or in your graveyard, including itself. As I gotta say, because sometimes people will miss that. Then apply these effects in sequence, depending on what the monster was before it was banished. If it was any of these zombie type, Shinra uses zombie type. Fire, all Shinra users fires. Synchro, you can destroy one monster on the field. So yeah, you get banished from the graveyard. If it's a synchro, you could do this while this card's still on the field and gain 300 attack, or it could banish itself and do all 3 of those effects, boost every monster on your side of the field, destroy one spell, and destroy one trap on the field. Destroy one spell or trap, and yeah, this card's broken. And like I said, this is a generic, so you could literally go Side Wielder, use this card, tribute, get rid of a back row, and a monster. It's generic too. Gotta go for 3 of those. Screw that, dude. Or at least 2. Raigeki Break. Discard 1 card, then target 1 card on the field. Destroy it. Now, for you Dark World play. Oh no, I wouldn't even say Dark World players. For you players who think this works with Dark Worlds, it is a cost. You guys see this semicolon right here at the end of field? That tells you that there's a cost. That with everything that goes before is a cost. So you cannot activate a Dark Lord's effect with this discard cost. So I know someone's gonna say, can you use Dark Worlds with it? No, you can't. But you can use Fables with it, because cost or not, they still activate their effects. So you can do this with Fables. And I think people are gonna mainly play this with Fables or cards that want you to ditch to the graveyard. I can definitely see this being played in Cristrons, Cyryus, cards that like want to get cards into the graveyard as fast as possible. Very useful card. Definitely do see this card seeing a lot of play due to the just the discard effect being really good, and then combining it with the 1 card, destroying 1 card on the field, any card on the field, which is really good. Vulcan the Divine, Beast Warrior Synchro, level 6, Psi Reflector. If this card is Synchro summoned, target 1 face-up card you control and 1 face-up card your opponent controls. Return those targets to the hand. But for the rest of this turn, you cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with the same name of those returned to the hand by this effect. So, I do like Vulcan. Vulcan, I used to play him in TCG as well. He used to be one of those cards that just kind of side, just because for certain situations where you need to return cards to the hand, it was very useful for that. Very good with Powerful Rebirth. Very good. You can send Powerful Rebirth back to the hand. So if you're playing Psi Reflector with Powerful Rebirth, this would probably be one of the cards you do want to put inside your extra deck, because it could be very useful for those decks. You know, you could keep bringing back Psi Reflector for either defense or offense. Also, you could play this in Fire Formation decks now. The Fire Formation Synchro decks, you could, because this is a Beast Warrior, so you can go into your but I might even try this on stream one day, because Vulcan actually might be pretty busted in there. Yeah, Fire Fist Synchro, you get this card, definitely fits in there because it is a Beast Warrior. Wielder now has more targets. Psychic Wielder decks has more targets with Vulcan the Divine, because like, dude, returning to the hand is so busted in this meta. It really is. So Vulcan's gonna be very useful. I think Vulcan's gonna see a lot of play as a Synchro, and it's a fire. Shiryu's. Jin Ryu Solitaire. You contribute 1 zombie type monster including itself, because it doesn't say except itself. Special summon one zombie type tuner with 0 defense from your deck. If this card is banished, you can target one of your banished Jin Ryu monsters except Jin Ryu Solitaire, or up to 2 instead. If Jin Ryu style synthesis is on the field, special summon them. You can only use each effect of Jin Ryu Solitaire once per turn. So I guess we'll see what Jin Ryu style synthesis happens as we go further into this box. But dude, if this card is banished, you can target one of your, so you can only use each effect of Jin Ryu once per turn. So you could use both of these effects once per turn. That's busted, man. That's pretty busted. If this card is banished, you can target one of your banished Jin Ryu monsters except Jin Ryu Solitaire. Okay, so the only time it's the except is when he's banished. You can target one of you, so he can't grab himself. So, but you can target another banished Jin Ryu monster, or up to 2 if you have synthesis on the field. So synthesis is either a field spell or a continuous spell, or continuous trap. I don't know. I don't think I've ever used synthesis before. You can only use each effective solitaire once per turn. Pretty good. So yeah, you can grab 2 banished cards if you have synthesis. Remember that. Jin Ryu Squire, a zombie effect. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon one serious Spectral Sword. So I'm guessing Spectral Sword is going to be a tuner. And then you can synchro summon just off of this card summon, dude. This card might be you have to play 3 of this card. If Serious Spectral Sword, if Spectre Sword is a tuner, you're going to have to play 3 of this card. And you don't even need anything to do this either. You just need Spectre Sword from your hand or deck. Also, you cannot special summon monsters except zombie tuner. So this is an automatic synchro if this Spectre Sword's a tuner. I'm guessing it is. It has to be. If this card is banished, you can draw 1 card, then discard 1 card. Oh my god, dude. This deck is broken. I forgot how, yeah, dude. I forgot about the manipulation. Yeah, man. Oh, I can't wait to play this deck again. This deck's about to be broken as hell. Like, draw 1 card, then discard 1 card. And you want to discard. And discard 1 card is part of the effect. This isn't even the cost. Discard 1 card is actually part of the effect, too. So, yeah. You're going to get rid of some more Jin Ryu monsters. Red Resonator, Fiend Tuner. So when this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower monster from your hand. And it still has its an effect. When this card is special summon, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field. Gain life points equal to its attack. You can only use this effect with Red Resonator once per turn. So yeah, we've seen this card in action before. Pretty good card. We finally got it. Easy level 6 synchro or lower. Mystic Tomato. When this card is destroyed by battle, y'all already know, you special summon 1500 or less attack dark monster from your deck and face up attack. So this card was mainly used in Yubel's deck when you played against them, and I'm thinking that's pretty much how this card's going to mainly be played. Also, you can play this card with Psy Reflector. I always gotta say it like that, man, because there's a lot of Psy Reflector support in this box. There's a lot of Psy Reflector support in this box. Zombie Master. We finally got this card. Once per turn, you can send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard and target 1 level 4 or lower zombie type monster in either player's graveyard. Special summon that target. This card must be face up on the field to activate and to resolve this effect. So you can chain Canadia when he activates, and for him to not get his effect. Remember that. That's one way to counter this card. You know, you could also offering him when he activates his effect, and he won't get his effect. So there's definitely, like I said, if Zombie Master does become a meta used card, those are ways it's very easy to counter. Well, depending on what you run, but you could definitely counter this card. This card probably won't see too much, because I remember the last time I played Zombie Master was in Vampires in the TCG. I used to play this card with Vampires. It was very useful then. Zombie synchro decks were very good. So not this synchro deck in particular with whatchamacallits, the Jin Ryus. You could use it in Jin Ryus though, but would there be room for Zombie Master? That's the question yet you'd have to solve. But there were other cards that we need to have in this game, like for Zombie Synchros, for Zombie Master to see a lot more play. You could definitely play it in Vengeance to grab Revenants out your graveyard, and use that for your because Zombie Master is also zombie, so you can use this card in your graveyard or on the field to ritual summon into your Vendrick cards. That's just that's another little tech choice if you want to. But yeah, Zombie Master, glad to see it in the game. It's a fun card to play with. Definitely options with that card. Jester Convent. You can special summon this card from your hand in face-up attack position. If you do, return this card one face-up monster your opponent controls to the hand during the end phase of your opponent's next turn. You can only control one face-up Jester Convent. So the thing about Jester Convent, the only time I've seen this card ever played was in Tribute decks, Monarch decks, because you can special summon a monster and then special summon this card, and now you have two monsters on the field. And you can probably Tribute summon for a level 7 or something like that. But it's mainly for Tribute decks, and expect to see that mainly in Tribute decks. So yeah, it's like I said, it's good. It's a really good card for Tribute decks. And so if you're running Monarchs or something like that, Jester Convent, you should probably look about adding this card. Assault Mode 0. Here we go, man. Assault Mode support. It's a quick play field. It's a quick play spell card. That's already a plus. Tribute 1 Synchro monster as a cost. Special summon 1 Assault Mode monster from your hand whose name includes the tributed monster's name. This is treated as a special summon with Assault Mode activate during your main phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Set 1 Assault Mode activate directly from your hand or deck. It can be activated this turn. You can only use each effect of Assault Mode 0 once per turn. This card is broken. This card is so broken, man. Because if you've watched my streams, you've seen how my strong first turns were. So imagine this card opening up with it like 3 of. This card is just a 3 of, man. Because opening up with Red Dragon Archfiend, you set. Your opponent tries to chain summon to you. You use this. I'd probably use Assault Mode 0 over whatchamacallit. Oh, no, this is a secondary card. Sorry, because you got a special summon from your hand. But that's even better. You're special summoning from your hand rather than now you can't brick with this card. It makes it harder to brick. With this and Assault Mode activate, instead of going from your deck, you can special summon from your hand. So if you have one in your hand, you can just use Assault Mode 0 to where now Assault Mode activates for your deck. You can't brick. You're going to use all 3 now. Plus, you can set 1 Assault Mode activate if you want, and you can activate it that turn to bring out another one. So now you could run 3 of the Assault Mode monsters. Tell me now, is it not worth the investment to go into that structure deck? Tell me now. This card's broken. We're playing that first thing when we're going for 3 of these. Book of Life. This broken card. Konami finally. I guess it was just too early for it to come. But it finally. This is going to cuck some decks. This you definitely want to play in every zombie deck you can get your hands on, except for probably Vendreds. But yeah, Jin Ryu, play 3. Anything with Zombie Master, play 3. Target 1 zombie type monster in your graveyard and 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard. Special summon the first target, also banish the second. So you can really ruin your opponent's strategy by banishing their monsters in their graveyard with Book of Life. Definitely a really good card. Like I said, 3 of 2 if you can get your hands on it, because there might be certain situations you just want to run 3 Book of Life. Dragon's Mirror. So if you played the skill with Chaz Princeton, Dragonic Fusion, if y'all veterans, y'all already know my stream, my history of Dragon's Mirror. I've been wanting this card in the game for the longest because I've been tired of milling my Dragon's Mirror. When I play a grass deck with Blue Eyes, 5-headed dragon, and now we could use it for other cards now that are Dragon Fusion material, Dragon Fusion monsters. Awesome. Not, you could use it for other cards. So awesome. Glad we have this in the game. Shit. All right. So we're on to the rares. Shiran Yu Shogun Saga. So it's a level 8. It requires 1 zombie type tuner and 1 more non-tuner zombie type monsters. So not generic, but it's 3,000 attack and 0 defense. If this card is special summoned, you can banish 1 zombie type monster from your graveyard. This card gains attack equal to the banished monster's original attack to the end of this turn, which can make it a pretty beefy Jin Ryu. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 of your banished zombie type monsters with 0 defense. So the monster pretty much that you just banished, you can actually just go for it when it's destroyed by battle or card effect and bring it back to the graveyard. You can only activate each of its effects once per turn. Pretty good. Pretty good. Ryu Son Saga. This one is a level 10. 3,500 attack, 0 defense. If this card is special summoned, you can return any number of your zombie type synchro monsters that are banished or in the graveyard to the extra deck. Then you can destroy cards your opponent controls equal to the number of cards returned. Dang, dude, if a zombie type monster you control will be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can banish one Ryu monster from your graveyard instead. You can special summon Ryu Son Saga once per turn. So this is going to be the main card because you're going to need to banish a lot for a lot of these other effects to start going off. And Ryu Son Saga can really get things started. So yeah, definitely you want to run at least one of these cards in your extra deck, you know, because you can recycle this card as well with the other Shinryus. Yeah, this card is going to be very useful. Phantasmal Lord Ultimate Bish Balkan. Dragon Synchro, no levels! But it's a dark though. I can't believe this, dude. The first no level card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragon Synchro effect. This card's original level is always treated as 12. So when it's on there, it turns into 12. But if you negate it, it has no levels. Let's just say that. Oh no, it's original level. So I don't know. I don't know how that works. Cannot be synchro summoned. Must be special summoned from your extra deck by sending 2 level 8 or higher monsters you control with the same level to their graveyard. 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner. It cannot be special summoned in other ways. Also, this card gains 1,000 attack for each monster on the field. Once per turn during either player's main phase, you can special summon the same number of Uchut's mean tokens. Being type dark level 1 attack 0 defense 0 on each player's field in defense position, so as to summon as many as possible. All this card cannot attack for the rest of this turn, which is useful. I think this card is going to be useful for plugging your opponent's field. I think the hardest part really is just the summoning condition, because you got to find a level 8 tuner, and I don't know what we have for level 8 tuners in the game, but then we need a level 8 monster. I'm guessing maybe a Blue Eyes deck might work, depending on what level 8 tuners we have. I think you could bring this card out with I think the easiest deck that could bring this out would probably be Blue Eyes, if I'm not mistaken, but who knows? We'll have to see. Ascension Sky Dragon. Oh, dude. All right. So we'll read the effect and I'll explain. If this card is synchro summoned, it gains 800 attack for each card currently in your hand. When this card you control is destroyed by your opponent's card by battle or card effects into your graveyard, if all the monsters that were used for the synchro summon of this card are in your graveyard, you can special summon all of them, but their effects are negated. You can only use this effect Ascension Sky Dragon once per turn. I'm already telling you, the combo with Ascension Sky Dragon is, I forgot its name. Oh, it allows you to draw each turn. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh card that it's a fairy, and it allows you to draw every time you draw a card. What was it? God dang it! I'm gonna look this up right quick. Give me 1 second. I might just say screw it, we might skip it. Tethys, there we go, it's Tethys. Goddess. So you're gonna use this card with Tethys. Tethys is a level 6, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Level 6, you need a level 4 tuner to go into this card. So Tethys and a level 4 tuner, you draw a whole bunch with Tethys. So I think agents with Tethys might be the trick for this card, because you go, okay, so yeah, that's gonna be the way this works. So Tethys, you get Tethys on the field, you start drawing, you activate Sanctuary, you special summon, I forgot, I think it was Venus or Mercury, I forgot which one of them, the level 5 tuner. You send a level 4 to the graveyard to make his level the same. You go into Ascension, after all those cards you just drew from Tethys, and Ascension goes in for OTK. Or you just have a beefy Ascension, one of the two. But that's the combo. That's the combo. It's the Tetris combo. That's what makes Ascension like really good. You can make great use of them with that. Underground Arachnid, level 6 insect synchro, 1 dark tuner and 1 non-tuner insect type monsters. We do have a insect monster that if you summon, you can special summon. I think that's in the game. It's a 1-card Underground Arachnid. I'll have to probably have to look to find where that card was, and I forgot his name. But if this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate any spell or trap cards until the end of the damage depth. Once per turn, you can select one face-up monster your opponent controls and equip to this card. If this card would be destroyed by battle, you can destroy the monster equipped to this card by its effect instead. You only equip one monster at a time to this card. So yeah, this card's very good for taking opponent's monsters that you can't normally get over or that are just problematic in itself and just equip them. Very useful card. Jin Ryu Spectral. So this is the card, and it's a tuner. So like I said, that's going to be the combo. You summon that level 4 SR monster, you special summon Spectral Sword, and you can go into a level 6. And you go into the UR card first turn. Let's read its effect. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard. Wait, if this card is in your except the turn it was sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 non-tuner zombie type monster in your graveyard, banish both in this card, and if you do, special summon 1 zombie synchro monster from your extra deck whose level is equal to this, you can only use this effect Spectral Sword 1 per turn. So that means, oh no, Square Saga is a level 7. Never mind. What level 6s do we have? It's right here. Okay, so we'll get to that. So you're able to go into this one then. But it's a special summon. It's not a synchro summon. So when that monster gets destroyed or sent to the graveyard, you cannot special summon it from the graveyard. Listen to me when I say this. If you use Spectral Sword in the graveyard's effect and special summon a monster, and that monster gets destroyed, you cannot special summon that monster from the graveyard because it was special summoned. It was special summoned from the extra deck other than Synchro Summon. Yeah. Alright, next card. Jin Ryu Spirit Master. Level 4 Zombie. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 Jin Ryu monster from your hand or graveyard. This card's busted too, but banish it when it leaves the field. If this card is banished, you can target 1 face-up card your opponent controls. Oh my god! So yeah, when you banish this card from the graveyard or from the field, you just destroy a card, a face-up card your opponent controls. Busted. Busted, busted, busted. During either Jin Ryu Samurai. During either player's turn, you can banish 1 zombie-type monster from your graveyard. This card gains 600. So, dude, these cards counter Metaphys too, man. I can see, like, Metaphys just not being played because of Shirun Use. Because Metaphys banish a lot. And, alright, banish me all you want. I'm about to destroy some cards. During either player's turn, you can banish 1 zombie-type monster from your graveyard. This card gains 600 attack. So, like, this card even does more because now you can come with this card. The Spirit Master, blow up, just do the, oh my god, okay. So this card gains 600 attack, and if it does, banish any monster that battled this card after damage calculation. These effects last until the end of this turn. If this card is banished, you can target 1 Jin Ryu monster in your graveyard, except Samurai, add it to your hand. What? Oh yeah, I forgot how broken this was, man. I forgot how broken this was, bro. Holy. So it gains 2400 attack, and it banishes any monster that banishes battles with it. Broken. Another Spectral Sword card. I wonder if you could use. I wonder if you have the choice to go into either or. Something to look at. It's a level 3 tuner. You can tribute this card. So, oh wait. It's not that one. Squire. Spectral Sword monsters, you can pick between a 2 or a 3. So, okay, so you could go for a Spectral Sword or a Spectral Sword Shade. You could go into the level 7 Squire Saga on 1 summon. So it does work like that. Okay, it's making more sense. These cards, you're gonna need more effort to bring out. But, yeah. You can tribute this card and then target 2 of your banished zombie type monsters, including a Jin Ryu monster, except the blade itself. Special summon them in defense, but negate their effects. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except zombie type monsters. So let's say you do that summon, special summon this card. You can tribute it to bring out a Spectral Sword and a zombie type monster to go into the bigger monsters, or you can just keep it on the field and go into a level 7. So there's plays. There's plays. Doom Kaiser Dragon Assault Mode. If this card cannot be normal summoned or set when this card is special summon any normal zombie type monsters from either player's graveyard to your side of the field. These monsters' effects are negated and they are destroyed during the end phase of this turn. Doom Kaiser Assault Mode does sound pretty interesting, especially with Zombie World, because you can special summon any of your opponent's monsters from the graveyard, which can really cuck your opponent. I could definitely see some spicy plays with this card. Arcanite Magician in Assault Mode. When this card is special summoned, place 2 spell counters on it. This card gains 1,000 attack for each spell counter on it. You can remove 2 spell counters from this card to destroy all cards your opponent controls. When this card on the field is destroyed, you can special summon 1 Arcanite Magician from your graveyard. I think this is probably one of the worst assault modes, just because, you know, it does tokens and things like that, and if you negate it, lose all its counters. Not worth the assault mode activates, but we don't know how easy it is. I think at this point it's pretty easy to bring out assault modes with the new SR, so who knows, it might be pretty useful. But I mean, I think by far, compared it to all the rest, it might be one of the worst. But actually no, I think Doom is probably one of the worst. But you know, you can do Zombie World within that can actually be pretty broken, so I don't know. I just know between one of the two, they're the worst. Still don't have freaking Stardust Assault Mode, which is increasingly frustrating, but we're just gonna have to deal. Like, come on, Konami, where's our Stardust Synchro? Where's our Stardust Assault Mode, man? It's like, oh my god. Whatever. Ghost Chair in the Underworld Boatman. Zombie Tuner level 2. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no other monsters, you can target 1 fusion monster in your graveyard. Banish both this card from the field and that target, and if you do, special summon 1 dragon type synchro monster from your extra deck, whose level equals the total levels of those 2 monsters had original level of face down. So it can be face down. You can only use this effect if Ghost Chair and the Underworld Boatman once per turn. You cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate this card's effect. So, Ghost Chair and the Underworld Boatman is a broken card. Yes, this card is just really broken, because you just summon this card and you can go into, you can special summon a fusion monster from your graveyard. I wouldn't say broken. It's pretty good because you need to have it in your graveyard, but it's supposed to be there to reinforce bringing back your Dragon Necro. That's how the combo's supposed to go. It's supposed to have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or like a level 6 in there. That summon him. You bring out another one. No, sorry. It's a Synchro. Yeah, it's supposed to go into combination with the, yeah. So you reach him, banish him, you go into a Dragon type Synchro, which is 2. What is this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that goes into a level 10 Dragon. Don't know how well that's gonna fit for most decks. From the field in that target. I mean, you can use any fusion monsters too. So if you play this with Invokers, you could Synchro summon to a Dragon type Synchro monster. Black Rose won't work, so I know some of y'all be thinking, oh, we could go play Black Rose. No, it's not going to work because it's a special summon, not a Synchro summon. I get that a lot, sorry. But yeah, this card can work in a lot of decks. You can use this card in Vendread, you can use this card in Invokers, you can use this card in the Jin Ryu deck using the Necro Fusion archetype, or you can just do the Draco Necro Fusion and you can go into some cards. But yeah, pretty good card. Jin Ryu Style Synthesis, so it's a field spell. Okay, cool. Once per turn, if you control no cards, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard and activate one of these effects. Target 1 zombie type monster with 0 defense in your graveyard. Special summon it. That's very good. Target 1 of your banner zombie type monsters with 0 defense. Return it to the graveyard. This card can be also used in Vendread, dude. This card can be very useful in Vendreads as well. Because this isn't really type specific to Jin Ryu's. Could be very useful in Vendreads. Just for the graveyard resourcing, you know. Because yeah, you can bring Avenged back with this card. Wow. And you could, and yeah. So this card I could definitely see it being seen some play in Shiryu's. Assault counter. Activate only while you control an assault mode monster. Negate the activation of a spell card, trap card, or a monster's effect and destroy it. This card is really nice because it is fairly easy to get out an assault mode monster, especially with the new SR. Like I said earlier, you can also make a counter trap version like I had previously played on the stream. Definitely go check that out. I played a counter trap. I think this could be very good adding it to the Parshaft build if you wanted to. So there's definitely ways to use this counter trap. Seems very good. Yeah, depends on how you make your deck around with that. Jin Ryu Samurai Saga. So this is the level 6, 25-0. This used to be the main card. I don't know why it's an N. In the TCG, I think it was like a way more played card. Way more played card than normal. I used to stay going into this card because it was just that one summon. It was that level 6 you could just go straight into. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can target one of your banded zombie type monsters, shuffle into the deck, and if you change to the fence position, all monsters your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to that monster's. If this card is banished, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 500 attack. Okay, so I see why, because like a lot of the monsters are fairly weak. So if your opponent's special summons a strong monster, it kind of doesn't really do much, but it does shuffle Jin Ryu into your deck. That you could probably draw into. You know, in this meta it can provide some problem, but I do like its banishing effect where they do lose 500 attack. So remember, I think that's probably going to be one of the most useful effects of it as well. Zeman the Ape King, one dark tuner, one non-tuner beast type monster. If only assault mode beast, if only assault beast was a beast. Could be wrong about that, but I think it's a beast warrior. You could go into a Zeman the Ape King. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate any spell or trap effects to the end of the damage step. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can select that monster and then send one monster from your hand or your side of the field to the graveyard to negate the attack. Nice, nice. Frozen Fitzgerald. I remember this card in the TCG. This card used to be broken in the TCG. Wow. Frozen Fitzgerald. Level 5. I forgot what deck it was used in, though. One dark tuner, one non-tuner beast type monsters. If this card attacks, your opponent can activate any spell or trap to the end of the damage step. When this card is destroyed by bouncing the graveyard while you control no monster, you can discard one card to special summon it from your graveyard and face up the defense position. So you could be able to keep bringing this card back, man. Frozen Fitzgerald used to be so broken, man. I forgot what deck it was played in, man. I'm trying to remember. Jin Ryu Smith, zombie effect. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard as a synchro material, you can add one Jin Ryu card from your deck to your hand, except Jin Ryu Smith. You can only use this effect to Jin Ryu Smith once per turn. This card is banished. You could activate this effect this turn. Zombie type monster you control cannot be destroyed by battle. Interesting. Hyper Psychic Blaster Assault Mode. This card cannot be normal summon, special summon, blah blah blah. If this battles a monster at the end of damage, to inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster's defense and gain life points equal to this card. If this card on the field is destroyed, you can special summon one Hyper Psychic Blaster from your graveyard. This might be the most worst card, but it definitely has some spicy usages though. And it's a Psychic, so Psychic support. For like, you can make a Psychic only deck with Psychic Hyper Blaster, Hyper Psychic Blaster. And you can have seen that played. I don't mean to always say it's the worst, but like I said, I'm not really a fan of the assault modes other than the Stardust Assault. I've just not been a fan of them because there's always been that better card. But since we could actually play these cards since we don't have the Stardust one. Arcane Apprentice, Spellcaster, Fire, level 2 tuner. If this card is sent to your graveyard for a single summon, you could add one assault mode activate from your deck to your hand. Why would you use this over Assault Beast? I have no idea. Assault Mercenary, level 4 warrior effect. Once per turn, you can return one assault mode activate from your hand to the graveyard to the deck to destroy one spell or trap card your opponent controls. Can be useful, but I think this card is mainly used for cards where you actually have to hard synchro. So like you summon this card, synchro, and then special summon like a tuner or vice versa. You know, actually hard synchro. Like this is probably cards that you don't need to use for Psy Reflector. Actually, no, because other than Assault Beast, you could actually so Psy Reflector has another target now, so you could go into this card from Psy Reflector, and then if you have an assault mode activate in your hand or graveyard, you can use this card's effect to do that and then Synchro summon. The only problem is how you're going to get this card in your graveyard. Nightwing Sorceress. Spellcaster effect. You can activate assault mode, activate the turn it is set. Very situational. Like I said, it might be one of those situations to where, yeah, this card has to be on the field, and then you have to already have a Synchro Summon monster just to even use it, so not very good. Jester Lord, level 1. When this card is on the field, it gains 1,000 attack for each card in the spell and trap card zones. This card can be very abused because you could set 3 cards and it'll be 3,000. But it depends, because if your opponent has a monster, then he doesn't get his effect. So you'd have to, like, this card's only useful for like a direct attack. Wolf, the best card in the box. Pail Beast, the second best card in the box. And then here's just the best card in the whole game. Girochin Kuwagata, level 4 insect, 1700 attack. Assault Teleport. So return 1 assault mode monster from your hand to the deck. Draw 2 cards. So this will enable you, like this in the SR will enable you to actually run 3 assault mode monsters from your deck. In your deck now, without having to worry too much about bricking, because these cards will help remedy the brick factor, which I'm glad we finally have this support. So now someone will be a lot more consistent now. Assault Revival, quick play spell. Remove from play 1 assault mode, activate from your graveyard. Destroy all monsters you control and special summon 1 assault mode monster from your graveyard. Learning its special summoning conditions. Its effect is negated and it cannot be tributed. If it is removed from the field, remove it from play. So it's a good beater. That's pretty much what Assault Revival is supposed to do, is kind of give you that beater. And it needs to be in the graveyard initially to even use this card. But other than that, you know, I'd play other cards than this one, honestly, just because, like I said, it's very, very situational. Assault Slash, trap card. Activate while you control an assault mode monster. Destroy all face-up cards on the field. I mean, monsters on the field, sorry. It can be very useful, especially against Dark Lords. I know that as a thing. And we're going to probably want to use it with this card art. But I could definitely see people playing with it, but I just win 20 card decks or so. I don't think there's going to be any room for this card, but it could be a spicy tech depending on what deck you build. Cherry Amato reprint, Scalosaurus reprint, Pyramid of Wonders reprint, Kangaroo Champ, a monster that battles with this card changes to defense position after damage calculation. Interesting card, but I think that might be a reprint too. Dark Spider. That might help go into that 1 Synchro, Humpty Grumpty. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down. Defense this card flips face up. Get 800 attack at the end of this turn. I think that's a reprint. Kickfire reprint. And that is my review for the box. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Also, some side notes. I could definitely show y'all. I could definitely tell y'all people are going to definitely try Jin Ryu with Invocation because they're all fire. So there's going to be a whole bunch of, sad to say, Invoke Purgatrio plays. And then during the mirror match, Purgatrio can wreck Jin Ryu if they're in defense. It's probably going to OTK you if that's the case. But yeah, definitely, like I said, no brainer. Jin Ryu Invoke's coming. Hit Seal Tombs, Konami. What are you doing? I'm disappointed about the whole Stardust not coming out, because I honestly would rather get Stardust rather than this card. I love this card, but I'd rather have the Stardust Assault than this card personally. But whatevers. I guess Konami just thought it was too broken for this game. I mean, we already have all the counter traps possible. Well, other than the obviously cards we can't have in here, but god dang it, man, we need it. But other than that, that's my review. Hit you up on the next one. Chopper 200 signing out.